Welcome back. Now, another one of the free applications that you have available to you is going to be called Microsoft To Do. If you come into your Microsoft 365 dashboard, you're going to click on To Do, and you're going to see Microsoft To Do open up. You are typically going to have to sign in to your account. Once you sign in, you will then have access to Microsoft To Do. And Microsoft To Do is a task manager that you can have access to on both your desktop and your mobile device. All you'll need to make sure that you have is your Microsoft 365 account in order to connect to what you're creating here in this area. We're going to click Let's Go. And what you can basically do is to manage your task in Microsoft To Do. For example, you can type in a specific task. You can then click Enter. You can then click on top of this task. What you can then do is you can add in a due date. You can add in a reminder for that due date. You can make it so that the task will be a repeating task or a one-time task. And you can tag your task with a specific category. If you want to add a file in association with this task, you can do it. So Microsoft To Do is a shareable task manager that is available to you inside of Microsoft 365. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, another element that you have inside of Outlook that integrates with other applications in Microsoft 365 is going to be your calendar. And you're going to see it here on your left side menu, and you're going to have access to it. You can also access your calendar from your app menu. And if you go to your app menu and you look for your calendar, you'll see it here, and you can click on it to get access to it. Now, when you have date-related information, you will be able to see it here on your calendar. So as you are adding things from your elements, you should be able to manage them from your Outlook calendar. You can also create your own events by clicking the event button and then customizing your events and making them available. You can choose the view of the calendar that you want. The default setting is going to be the month, but you can change that to the week so you can see your week in its entirety as you make decisions. You are also going to have settings, and you'll see those settings here inside of your Outlook area. Well, if you were to use Microsoft To Do and you were to plan a specific task. Now, as of the recording of this video, only your appointments are going to appear on your calendar. Currently, you will not be able to make your tasks visible on your actual calendar. However, you can click this button in your toolbar and you can click the to-do list. What you can do is you can drag these events into your calendar, and you will then be able to see your tasks in your calendar. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, there are two communications-oriented applications in your free Microsoft 365 group of applications. One of those applications is Skype. Now, Skype is made for you to be able to conduct live meetings using video and/or chat applications. You can set a meeting either by hosting or by joining a specific meeting, and you can schedule that meeting. So for example, if you choose to schedule the meeting for the future, you can schedule it. You can give the meeting a title. You can then set up the meeting. You can also add in people that are part of your contacts. Inside of Microsoft Office, you can initiate any kind of conversation that you want. You will be able to share files. You will be able to send contacts. And you can also record a specific message. You can add individuals to the group, and as long as they have access to Skype, they will be able to participate in a conversation with you inside of a group by video, audio, or chat. And you can track all of those conversations here inside of Skype, which operates in the cloud. If you want to call individuals from a landline or mobile device, you can do so from this area, although it does require a subscription or funds added to your Skype account. So basically, for all of the individuals that already have a Skype account or individuals that are connected to you through Microsoft 365, you will be able to have video, audio, or text conversation with them. And you will see the icon availability in your toolbar inside of Outlook. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. To log into your account, we are going to type in Office, or you can type in Microsoft 365. And we are going to click the first search result, and we will sign into our account. we will go to the Apps area. Another tool that you will have available to you inside of Microsoft 365 is the Forms area. And you're going to see that Forms will allow you to create different forms for any purposes. And again, all of these forms are going to be stored in your Microsoft 365 account, and that storage is going to take place in your overall Microsoft OneDrive account. Now basically, you can create a new form from scratch, or you can use some of the available templates that Microsoft Forms has for you. And you will see some of the forms available to you. And again, these are the forms that are available as of the recording of this video. Assuming that you want to use the template for event feedback, and you want to make changes to this form for your own use. Now to make changes, you can type in your changes here in this area. And all of the changes that you make are going to be auto-saved, and you will see them in your form. And you'll note here at the top that when you make changes here, you are going to have a name for your file inside of Forms, but you can click inside of this area if you want to make changes to your form title. And you can add and subtract different elements here to your form. If you want to add a new element, you can add in a choice element, text element, a rating element, or a date element, and all of these elements will then be available. You can change the nature of the theme of your event style, and you'll see it here in this area. You'll notice here that this will change the element, and you can change it back to the element. As of the recording of this video, Forms will allow you to add in background music. If you want to make changes to the overall theme, you can click this area. If you want to see what the theme will look like on the web, you can click Preview, and you can see what your form will look like on a mobile device. When you are ready to begin collecting responses, you can click this button. You can then copy the link. If you want to shorten it, you can do that. You can then copy the new link. You can either share it on your social media, or you can give the link to the individuals that you want to answer. The individuals will get your web-based URL. They will then click the URL, and then they will then answer your questions. They will then click Submit, and their response will then be submitted. You will then see the responses inside of the forms, and you will be able to measure the feedback. So Microsoft Forms will allow you to create different forms for different occasions, and to collect the responses and to follow the feedback for those responses here in this area. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. One of the applications you have available to you is called Microsoft Clipchamp, and you may see it in your application dashboard. If you don't see it, you can go to your app launcher or Waffle, and you can either access it from the apps, or you can choose all apps, and you will then be able to find it here in your app menu. We're now going to access Microsoft Clipchamp. You will need to sign into your Microsoft account. Now Clipchamp will have age requirements based on where you live, and so you will need to write in a date of birth as well as where you live in the world. Once you indicate this, you can then click Continue. You will then either determine what kind of videos bring you to Clipchamp, or you can skip this part of the process. And what you'll notice with Microsoft Clipchamp is that you can get started with a specific template, and your templates are here in this area. You can also click All Templates so that you can see all of the templates that you have available to get started creating video with Microsoft Clipchamp. So if you want to create a video for Instagram or for YouTube or for social media, you can indicate this with your specific templates. You can also use your existing webcam, record your screen, or just record your microphone for the sake of audio. When you click into this area, you are then going to be brought into a Clipchamp studio. It's in the Clipchamp studio. You will have access to templates, you will have access to music, you will have access to stock video, you will have access to stock images to use in your videos, you'll have access to graphics and transitions. You can also utilize a brand kit. Now this is actually part of the paid version. You'll only have access to this if you are paying for your version of Microsoft 365. You can also create a text-to-speech video by determining what the text-to-speech is going to be and typing in your text here in this area. And you can preview the text-to-speech.
Now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country.
Now, Microsoft Clipchamp does have a desktop application and is available for free inside of the Microsoft Store. Now, you can also import existing assets into Microsoft Clipchamp, and for the sake of this video, we are going to stop here and we're going to pick it up from importing assets into Microsoft Clipchamp. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. If you don't have the Microsoft apps on your mobile device, you can add them by going to your respective app store. You are now looking at an iOS device. However, the process is going to be the same if you use an Android device. What we're going to do is to go to the App Store. You're going to look for the Microsoft 365 mobile device, and you're going to install it on your mobile device. Now, for the sake of this video, this application has already been installed on the mobile device that's on your screen. Now, inside of the iOS App Store, you're going to see the View command. We're going to click View. And you're going to see here that we're going to need to get the mobile application. We're going to click Get on this mobile application. We are now going to open the Microsoft 365 application. We're now going to click Get Started. We're going to click on Next here in this area. We are going to read through the terms of service about your data and then click Accept. We will then read through the privacy settings and then click OK. We're going to choose whether we're going to be notified. In this case, for the sake of this video, we're going to choose No. And this is the opportunity. If you want to make a purchase, you can. We're going to skip the purchase as of this video, and we're going to try the trial later. Now, depending on when you see this video, you're going to see that Microsoft will tell you that the Office app is becoming the Microsoft 365 application. We're now going to sign into our account. And your Microsoft 365 account is ready to be used on your mobile device. If you have other Microsoft applications available on your mobile device, you will be able to see them in the appropriate menus. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Come back. You will have access to Microsoft OneDrive, and OneDrive is where all of your documents that you are creating will be stored. Microsoft will be making an offer for you to increase the amount of space that you have, which you can subscribe to separately, or you can increase the amount of storage by signing up for a paid version of Microsoft 365. OneDrive is designed for you to upload documents, both files and folders, from your hard drive into the storage area. And you're going to notice down to the bottom left that Microsoft will track how much space you have available to you in terms of being able to use OneDrive for your documents. Now, if you want to see the other content that you have available to you that you have stored on OneDrive, you'll then be able to see all of the documents you have been creating and using in Microsoft 365. You will want to pay attention to your overall settings. If you go to this area and click on the settings gear, you go to your options area, you will then see your OneDrive settings. You can track your storage options, your Office file formats, and all of the other elements that you'll have available to you for Microsoft OneDrive. You'll also be able to create any of the other kinds of documents that Microsoft 365 gives you that you'll be storing in Microsoft OneDrive. You will notice that you can go inside of any document. You can share that document. You'll be able to click it here in this icon. You'll also be able to click on these ellipses, and you'll have several options available to you for each individual document that you have stored in Microsoft OneDrive. You'll also see a number of options available to you on the top menu that are the same as your menu available to you when you click on the ellipsis. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Now, another traditional application in Microsoft 365 is PowerPoint. And PowerPoint, like the other applications, does have templates available for you to use, or you can open a blank presentation. The application that you're using does have a save command. You can save the command as a PDF. You can download a copy to your hard drive, or you can save a copy to your OneDrive account. It does have traditional menus and functions from the PowerPoint desktop application. You do have access to the PowerPoint AI Designer or your projects, and you have the AI-based Rehearse with Coach. This will allow you to rehearse your presentation as it is and to get real-time feedback on how you are delivering your presentation. And like all of the other applications, you will be permitted to work with others on your presentation. So you can give others access to edit your presentation, and all they'll need is a free copy of the Microsoft 365 application. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, another application that you will have available to you that has been in place for some time but may be unfamiliar to you is called Microsoft OneNote. And Microsoft OneNote is a way of archiving specific content in specific categories. It's different from Microsoft List and your Microsoft To Do, however, it has some of those features. And one of the things you'll notice is that Microsoft OneNote does not come with templates because the idea is for you to customize your own information retrieval system inside of OneNote. We will now create a new notebook. Now, OneNote is like any of the other applications. You will be auto-saving to OneDrive. You will have access to your notebooks on your mobile device and anything connected to your Microsoft 365 account. And there is a desktop application where you can operate the same files that you have available in the free cloud-based version. One aspect of Microsoft OneNote is that it is designed for you to use handwriting recognition inside of the application. Whether you do your handwriting using a stylus on your mobile device or you use your desktop computer, you can write directly to a specific OneNote. One thing you'll want to note is that converting ink to text is not currently possible in OneNote for the web. And so what you'll need to do in order to have that feature available is you'll need to have the desktop application in order to do it. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another. Welcome back. One of the things you'll notice inside of Outlook is that you have the ability to manage your contacts. And you will be able to manage them inside of your settings area. If you look past General and Mail, you're going to see your people here. And you do have settings where you can choose to display your contacts by their first name or their last name. You will be able to manage them from the dashboard. You're going to see this people link. And this will take you inside of your Outlook dashboard where you will be able to enter and manage your specific contacts. If you need to add a new contact, you can go here inside of Outlook. You can then click on New Contact. You'll then be able to enter the information that you'll have in your system for that contact. And these contacts will be available to you inside of the other applications that you're using in Microsoft 365. If we decide to start a new email, what we can do then is we can use the contacts that we have available inside of Outlook. And so if you have an existing contact, you will then be able to use that contact to send email to these individuals. You can add your contacts inside of specific lists. You can create a specific contact list, give your contact list a description. You can then add in the individual for that contact list. And you can then create the new contact list. When you are sending emails, you can use the contact list that you have available in order to contact all the individuals inside of your contact list. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Now, one of the applications you have available to you is called Microsoft Lists. And you can click inside of the list icon on your dashboard. And basically, as you'll see here, Microsoft Lists will allow you to track and visualize data together with a team, friends, or family, all in one space using Microsoft accounts. And basically, you're going to see that Microsoft Lists will give you assets that you can use, which you can create from scratch using a blank list, or you can use the templates that Microsoft Lists has available for you. So for example, assuming that what you want to do is to monitor the scheduling of specific content. Now basically you're going to see that there's going to be a template with pre-filled in information. Now you're going to use the format as a jumpstart to determine how you're going to use this particular template as well as Microsoft Lists. And it's a good idea anytime that you're going to use any of these newer applications inside of Microsoft 365 that you start with a template, you start to edit that template, and then you determine how you're going to use the application. We're going to use this individual template that's already been pre-filled in called Content Scheduler, and we're going to click Use Template. We're going to give this remade template a name. You can give the list a color. and you can choose a specific icon for the list. Once you do that, you're then going to click Create. And what you'll notice is that you have a format for a specific list. And what you can now do is you can add in an entry to the existing format, or you can change the format. You can change the format by adding a specific kind of column, and you have different kinds of columns that you can add. Or you can make changes to the columns that you have. So for example, we can click on this specific column. We can then go to the column settings. We can then edit the column settings, and we can turn this column into what we want it to be. We can use the more options if we want to require that this column retains information. So basically, what you can do with Microsoft List, you can use the templates to modify into a specific format, or you can go to Microsoft List and you can create your own list from scratch. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. An automation app that you have available inside of Microsoft 365 is called Power Automate, and you can go inside of Power Automate. Power Automate will ask you to declare your country or region. You'll then click Get Started. Power Automate will allow you to automate certain tasks within your applications inside of Microsoft 365. And like many of the other applications, there are sample templates available so that you can determine what kind of automations that you can actually do. For example, you'll see tasks available for email. You will see tasks available for files and documents. And you'll see tasks available for notifications. The Power Automate is a complex application, so it's a good idea to look at the templates and then to watch the tutorials if you intend to use it. If you click on the templates area, you will then be able to see that there are a number of templates available that you can use. You can sort the templates in the manner that you want to look at them. For example, if you want to see the automations related to PowerPoint, you will then be able to see them here in this area. Now, some of the applications do require access to a third-party application in order to complete the process. And you'll need to look at each individual automation to determine if this is one that you'll be able to use. You will see a number of tools available, including an artificial intelligence builder here on the left side menu. So Power Automate is an advanced application that will allow you to automate specific tasks. And again, due to the complexity of the application, and in some cases, the requirement of a third-party application, it's a good idea to go through both the templates and tutorials to determine how you might use it to connect activity among the applications you are already using, both inside of Microsoft 365 and outside of Microsoft 365. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you either in another video or in another course. Now, one of the tools that you will have available to you in the free suite of Microsoft applications is going to be Microsoft Sway. You can access it from the home page of Microsoft 365, or you can also go to the Waffle or the app launcher. You're going to find it here, and if you don't see it here, you can click on All Apps, and you will see Microsoft Sway available to you here in this area. We are going to open up Microsoft Sway. And when you go to this page, you may need to sign into your Microsoft account again. And when you click the sign in button, you will have access to Microsoft Sway. Now, Microsoft Sway will allow you to create a specific kind of presentation. You can start with a template, or you can use a featured sway. So for example, if you wanted to use one of the templates that are already available, you can use it and then begin editing this specific template. And when you open a template, you can begin to see how Microsoft Sway is going to work. And this is actually the best way of understanding what some of the elements are, including the design function and the storyline function, and then being able to play the actual presentation. And you'll get a chance to see how the controls will actually work. You can advance your presentation, and you can determine what kind of changes you want to make. You can close this element. You can then hit Edit, and you will be back inside of the editing screen. You can then share this presentation with other people that have the Sway application, or people that you want to see the presentation that you have chosen. And like any other sharing application, you can set specific sharing instructions for this document. If you want the person who's going to be receiving it and they have a copy of Microsoft Sway or they're using the free application, you can choose Edit. And they will then be able to edit the presentation to add their changes. And you will then begin to see the sways that you are creating here in this area. So Microsoft Sway is an alternative way of being able to create a presentation if you want to do something different than using Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. You will have available to you an element of Microsoft Outlook that will allow you to receive emails in the email address that you have set up. Now, in terms of receiving your email, one of the things you'll want to do inside of Microsoft Outlook is to go into your settings. You'll want to go to view your Outlook settings. You'll want to be mindful of the amount of storage that Microsoft will be giving you in order to manage your email. And you can go into your storage area. You can then determine how much storage you are using. You can manage or empty out your email box if that is something that you do not regularly do. You will also want to pay attention to your message handling so that you automatically delete any unwanted emails on a regular basis. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. If you go to your favorite search engine and you type in the word Office, you're typically going to come up with search results. In particular, you will see results for Office 365. There may be other search results that you may see, but as of the recording of this video, this result will show. If you go ahead and click that link, you're going to be brought to an area, and one of the things that you will see is that the Office app is becoming the new Microsoft 365 app. Now, this transition may have already happened by the time you're watching this video, and this site may look different if that transition has been made. If you scroll down, you're going to see that there is a free and premium version of what's called Microsoft 365. You'll be given an allotment of space on the Microsoft server, and you can be given more if you choose to go premium and make a regular payment. You're going to see that there is a home version, there's a version for organizations, and there is a version for educators. What we're going to do now is we're going to click on this button that says Buy Now. You're going to see options for personal use. You're also going to see options for business use. Business use will give you access to web and mobile services as well as desktop applications depending on which version you intend to make payment for. And for the sake of this video and this part of the course, we're going to sign up for the free version of Microsoft 365. Now, if you don't have a Microsoft account, you will need to create one here in this area. And because we've already gone through the account creation process, we're going to click Sign In, and we're going to sign in to Microsoft 365. And we are now going to click Next. What you will now see are the applications that will be available to you. You will be able then to purchase Microsoft 365 here at this button. You can also install the applications. You are also going to see how much space that you have available with the free version here on this home page. And we will start the process in the next video. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video. Welcome back. Now, all of the applications that you'll be using will be free in the cloud and will be shareable. If you want to purchase the desktop applications, you would need to go to your home page. You'd come here where it says Install Applications, or you'd buy a subscription to Microsoft 365. In order to come back to the app page, you can go here. In order to search for any of the documents that you have available in your Microsoft 365 account, you can search for it by placing your cursor here in this dialog box for search. You can search by a specific application. For example, if all you want to search for are going to be PowerPoint files, you can filter your search in that way. Or of course, if you know the name of your presentation, you can write it here in this area. And whatever you are looking for will be here in this area. So with Office or Microsoft 365, you basically have a searchable repository for all of the documents that you will be using in the free application. And you will be using it according to the storage limits that Microsoft has set for you. And you can see what that storage limit will be here on the Microsoft 365 homepage. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Back. One of the tools that you'll have available to you inside of Microsoft 365 will be Microsoft Word. You will see that Microsoft Word does give you templates to work with if you want to do something different or out of the ordinary. In many cases, you will be using a blank document and you will start from that point. What you will notice are many of the same elements that you will see from the desktop application if you are a user, in addition to being able to dictate your content using the dictate feature, being able to have an editor to go over your writing just as you might use Grammarly, and to use a designer that uses AI in order to create an effective document. The other menus such as the insert menu, the layout menu, the references menu, the review menu, and the view menu will have many of the same features that you are used to. And one of the things you'll want to do is to make sure that your document is going to be saved. When you do that, you will then have your document being auto-saved to your OneDrive account. If you go into your document area and you go to the info area, one of the things you'll notice is that you have a version history. And these are all of the changes that you have made to your document. And if you want to go back in time to your document, you can find the version that you want to use. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Whereas Skype allows you to communicate one-to-one and one-to-a-few, you can also use Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams will allow you to communicate one-to-many, as well as to collaborate and work in a group environment. Now, you are going to be asked by Microsoft Teams in order to allow it to access your browser. You may or may not choose to allow it. You will also be asked to download the application. For the sake of this video, we are going to skip that part. You can choose how you're going to be identified with Teams. You can add in a photo. You can then click Continue. Now, what you will notice inside of a team is that you have the same communication elements that are available to you in other elements. You can also invite specific individuals to the team that you are going to be working with. Inside of the calendar in Microsoft Teams, you will have all of the same elements that are available in your regular calendar. What you'll notice here is that you can also integrate a Google Calendar if you keep a separate calendar on that platform. Once you start a new chat, you'll be able to see that you can collaborate with files or any other media here in this area. So basically, when you want to communicate and collaborate with individuals that are going to be outside of your contact list, you can do so using Microsoft Teams to invite them to specific elements where you will be able to communicate in a shared interface. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Inside of the free Microsoft app, you're going to see your apps available on your left side menu. And in some cases, you may have all of the apps available on your dashboard. If not, you'll just click the All Apps Available, and you'll be able to see all of the apps that you'll be able to use with your free account. You can go to this gear icon. These will be your basic settings. In most cases, for the free application when you're operating online, there won't be a whole lot there. What you will see on the left side is the app launcher. In some cases, it's called a waffle. You're going to see your apps available here in this area. You can click on this All Apps icon and you will see all of your apps on your left side menu. At the bottom, you're going to see some commonly used applications. You're going to see the Bing search engine. You are then going to also see MSN News, which is a compilation of news from other sources. You're going to see your privacy settings here in this area, and you're going to see Microsoft Rewards depending on where you live in the world. If you click your privacy settings, you are then going to be asked to sign in with your Microsoft account or the one that you just created. You will typically be asked to use a CAPTCHA of some kind. This will then give you access to your account with Microsoft. You will have control over everything that you are paying for with Microsoft. You will also have access to your data and being able to manage it here inside of your account. You will have your information in your Information tab. You will have privacy information in your Privacy tab. Any security information, you will have those settings here in this area. If you are working inside of Microsoft Rewards, you will have a Microsoft Rewards tab, which you will manage here in this area. If you are making payments of any kind to one of the paid services, you will see it here in this tab. If you have subscriptions with Microsoft, you will have them here in this tab. and the devices that you have connected to your account, you will have them available in this tab. Now, it's at this point that you may want to add in your Microsoft account to your mobile device, and we will do that in the next video. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video. You also have access to Microsoft Excel inside of Microsoft 365. You can enter Microsoft Excel, and like the other applications, you do have templates that you'll be able to use. You can click on More Templates, and you can start with a template if you want to use one of these pre-made uses for Excel. Otherwise, you can start with a blank notebook. Otherwise, you can start with a blank workbook, and Excel can be used. One of the things you'll notice in both Microsoft Excel as well as all of the Office applications is you're going to see an Open command. We can click on the Open command, and basically we can access files from our hard drive that are in the Excel format. Once you have your documents available, you'll have all of the menus that you would traditionally have inside of Microsoft Excel. And if you are an Excel user, you are familiar with formulas. All of the formulas in Microsoft 365 work in the very same way as they traditionally do in the Microsoft Excel desktop application. Now, without the paid version, you won't have all of the same features that you would in Microsoft Excel desktop version, but you do have enough to do all of the basic work associated with Microsoft Excel. Now, one of the things you'll note is that all of the documents that you use in Microsoft 365 can be downloaded to your hard drive. You're going to notice that when you go to the Save As command, you can save a copy to OneDrive. You can also download a copy to your personal computer. And so this is something that you'll want to be aware of if you want to be able to archive your content into a document format, or if you use the desktop version associated with a different email address. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Now, within your Microsoft 365 account, you will have access to a family safety icon. Now, if you are using Microsoft 365 on a personal level, what you can do is you can add in a family member and you can manage access to certain applications. You also have some family collaboration features. There's a family safety mobile app. You can track members of your family and where they are on the map. You can have a specific email. You can manage a family calendar. You can have a family OneNote account. You can also set limits to your children's screen time here in this area. You can match content filters. So basically what you have is you have a way of being able to give your children access to certain features of your Microsoft account and to be able to monitor certain aspects as they begin to use it consistently. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.